Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable and earn a payout. Pretty good week this week as I managed to get some nice setups that ran pretty well, and as you guys could probably tell from the title, we are on the funded stage now. Gonna be struggling to achieve that payout now. There's much more within reach, and I'm going to keep working with the proper mentality of waiting for those A+ setups to develop and only taking those. But yeah, I won't waste any more time, so let's just get into this week's trades. Alright, so for today we did seem to be pretty 50-50, which didn't seem to be too ideal. We had some wick sweeps of the highs with this daily sweep and a 1 hour sweep. We were however trending bullish, which conflicted with this idea as the wick sweeps of the highs would usually indicate a bit of a sell-off. We did however have a 4 hour fair value gap plus 1 hour order block and a 1 hour wick sweep of a low for some buying indication. And LuKremBo was backing up the buys more too, with price starting to develop more bullish confluences. There was this 15-minute fair value gap and 5-minute order block to continue establishing the bullish trend. Honestly, right now it's a bit too early to tell, so I want to see how price looks closer to market open. And for the setup today, price ended up getting a massive pump during market open, though that was quickly smacked down to form a wick sweep, and we were starting to get some down moves, and since everything was nicely aligned for the move, I ended up entering off the confirmation with a 1 minute inverse fair value gap. And to be honest, this fill was actually horrendous, but it's all good, I can work with it. Alright, so yeah, we did end up getting stopped out pretty badly today. First, the initial fill was hard, and then the spread stopped me out for a bit more, which does suck. It is a little painful experiencing this, but to be fair, this is just another lesson that I may need moving forward. And it's also a reminder that there's an inherent risk when doing this, and it's absolutely normal to experience these trades at times. What's important is just how I react, because that's all there is within my control. So yeah, I'm just gonna do what I usually do and just keep up with the consistency, keep staying productive, and keep pushing to only take those A+ setups. Okay, so for today we seem to be pretty bearish as we do have this 4 hour order block, and we did just inverse this 1 hour fair value gap as well. We did however have this 4 hour wick sweep of a low and a 1 hour order block to back up the longs. And LuKremBo was backing up more of the shorts though, as we did shift lower on the 15 minute with a body form past a swing low. We also have some nice imbalances within the premium range that price could retest into, so I want to see how price reacts to this key level of mine, and because of that I do want to wait a bit more before getting into the setup. And coming into the setup I had to wait so long, bro. Price was just chopping around for ages and just not shifting into any particular direction, and since that was the case I was being patient and waiting for an opportunity, which we did get after a bit with a shift higher from a 1 minute IFEG. And we ended up getting a nice little pump to start off the trade that was quickly smacked down, and I was pretty confident since we were getting some nice volume, so let's just skip forward to see how that went. Okay, so yeah, I ended up getting out at break even today, and it was quite late and the volume was dying out, which is why I made the decision to take my trade out. I was thinking about it and thinking with the consolidation taken into consideration, I could have taken the smaller trade here, which would have hit its target much faster. This would have used the recent 1 minute high low range and targeted the -1 extension, and I ended up aiming too far today, which is why my trade didn't end up running as well as I'd like. All good though, it's just another learning opportunity, and I do need to be more mindful of the current market conditions. Alrighty, so for today we just seem to be pretty bearish as we do have this 4 hour order block holding price down, and we also had a 1 hour order block which was overlapped with that level that price seemed to be respecting too. And even on the low time frame we're respecting some bearish confluences, and it shifted lower on the 5 minute, creating a 5 minute inverse. I do want to wait for a bit more for price to confirm if I want to take a setup, so I'll just be patient until then. And this setup ended up preparing pretty quickly since there was such a good confirmation already with the 50 plus 5 minute IFEG. I just needed a little bit more on the low time frame to get an entry, which was this 1 minute inverse. As price did form that IFEG, I took the setup without hesitation, and this setup did end up running really nicely to hit my TP pretty quickly. Nice quick wrap up for Wednesday this week. Real nice setup. It's been a while since a nice pre-market has formed like this, and I'm glad I didn't hesitate to take the setup. The confirmation was just too good not to take it. One thing I was thinking of though was that I did leave quite a bit of profit on the table here. Not in a greedy way, just like objectively, I did end up risking less as I did the max amount of micros in one entry, which is 15, which is only around like $250 risk. There was an opportunity to top up though, I didn't take it, and in the moment I was thinking of just taking the base hit, and it's too close to my target, which I guess is alright. I know, it's just something I can consider when taking trades in the future, because I do misjudge my risk quite a bit at times. So yeah, that's about it for today. Okay, so for today we just seem to be pretty bearish. We had the strong overlap of a 4-hour order block and a 1-hour inverse fair value gap, which price was currently retesting. This was also overlapped with the 1-hour high-low golden zone, which made this area and retest really strong. And on the low time frame, we even shifted to the sell side with this 15-minute inverse, and I do want to see price accumulate a bit more though, and then get a shift, as that'll provide a good area for me to enter, and it'll make me very confident in taking a setup. For the setup, I ended up finding an entry a little while later. Price ended up accumulating for a while, ended up getting a shift lower, which was some nice confirmation to take us into the setup, and the trade ended up running pretty quickly again today, and we pushed on really nicely, and we got so close to hitting my target, but since we were so close, I decided to just exit out there for today. And for today's setup, I think the overall setup and execution were both great. It was my emotional exit that was a bad play because I didn't give my setup the time to play out. The reason why I exited was because I saw the amount I needed to pass the account and ended up just exiting there. And the trade ended up running in the end, but yeah, this is a mistake that I can't afford to make because this emotional move tells me that I'm just swinging too short term and I should have more confidence in my model playing out. But otherwise, yeah, it's a nice A+ day. Alright, first day back on the funded, and overall I reckon that we are a bit bullish. We had a 4-hour shift higher, and we also had some nice imbalances that we're retesting into, like this 4-hour and 1-hour order block overlap. And we did have some conflicting confluences like this 1-hour fair value gap, though on the low time frame I do peep that we do have some bullish confluences as well. And we did have a 15-minute shift to the buy side, which added on to the initial bullish idea that I had. And I'll be a bit patient and wait to see how price develops though. The setup ended up coming pretty quickly as price ended up getting a nice retest into the low time frame imbalances. And we did stall out a bit before finally getting a pump to break through a 1-minute fair value gap, which was the confirmation that I needed to get into this trade. And the trade quickly went against me as price started pushing down lower, though it looks like we're going to get stopped out, but we didn't, and we had an I'm moment, and price ended up just Alright, so the setup today was all good. Unfortunate that it didn't play out, but it was an A+ setup that I was confident in, and it was within risk too, so it's completely manageable. We have been doing pretty well recently, so this loss is just my system playing its course, and yeah, that's about it for today. Alright, so that about does it for this week. Real nice week, as we did manage to finally make it to the funded stage again, and I'm going to keep going at my own pace. The P&L is separated since my account is updated, but if it were to get it, it would look like something like this. Not bad at all, honestly. Gonna keep aiming to get that payout the right way, working with the proper intention and productivity, and just overall just getting that payout the right way. And I still remember the first time I was on the stage, I struggled a lot as I forced a lot of bad setups, mastered strategic trading every day. Not gonna be making that same mistake again, you know? I'm gonna be patient and wait for price to develop each day to see if it's even worth trading, and if it's not, then I won't force anything, because oftentimes not forcing the setup is what makes you money in the long term. Thinking back to me losing my first funded accounts, it was probably one of the best things that could have happened, because within this period that I was working on achieving my second funded, I've learned so many new things about how to actually trade that I never knew I needed when I first made it here. So it's a great thing, honestly, and I think it's a kind of event. And yeah, that's about it for this week. So check out the Discord if y'all are interested. Just a chill place for everybody to talk and grow. Everybody's in this chill, so try to know if you guys are keen. And yeah, that's about it for this one, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.